Breaking now from Texas. Bomb squad on scene. We are now getting reports that an Austin, Texas man was killed after some kind of device exploded on the front porch of his home on Friday morning. Austin police released a statement saying that a man who is believed to be in his 40s was found injured on his front porch after an explosion was called in around 7 a.m. in the Harris Ridge neighborhood of Austin. The man was later transported to a local area hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. The exact cause of death and the source of the explosion are still under investigation. Austin police have now confirmed they are investigating the incident as a homicide, and they are currently working with the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives in order to analyze the explosive used, along with the U.S. Postal Service in order to determine if the explosive was mailed to the home. Chief Brian Manley of the Austin Police stated, "Based on what we know right now, we have no reason to believe this is anything beyond an isolated incident that took place at this residence, and no reason to believe this is in any way linked to a terrorist act," Manley told reporters. "But we are not making any assumptions. We are conducting a thorough investigation to rule that out. We reach out to all of our providers that deliver mail to this area, both the U.S. Postal Service and those that do it privately, because that is one of the things we want to know is was there a package delivered to this residence in the past several days," Manley said. "It was just a really loud, deep boom and it shook the windows and I just kind of freaked out, picked up my son and went the opposite direction," Sledge said. In an odd coincidence, the incident appears eerily similar to one that happened in New York in 2017. When a package which was meant for a cop instead killed landlord George. 37-year-old Victor Kingsley was later charged by federal prosecutors for using a weapon of mass destruction in a plot to get revenge against a cop who arrested him in 2014. Although no officers lived at the address, the package sat on the porch for over a week until the landlord picked it up and it exploded, which resulted in Ray's head, legs and torso being badly burned, which led to his death just a few days later. Whatever is going on here, let's hope the FBI can manage to take a break from working for the Democrat Party and the Clintons long enough to get to the bottom of this sick crime and put whoever is responsible for this murder behind bars. Via Abt 70. East Flatbush, Brooklyn, WABC. There was a medical emergency in the courtroom Thursday during the arraignment for a man accused of killing an innocent man, while trying to target a nipped officer. It was about halfway through the arraignment for 37-year-old Victor Kingsley of Brooklyn when the prosecutor apparently became physically ill and sat down at the prosecution table for a few minutes, then eventually left the courtroom on her own. The judge called for a recess. There is no word on when the arraignment will resume. Police believe Kingsley is behind a deadly package explosion that killed a 73-year-old man in Queens last year. Authorities reportedly searched an East Flatbush location before arresting Kingsley. Authorities say the arrest was the result of a 7-month investigation by the NYPD, FBI and other agencies into the explosion. Authorities reportedly searched an East Flatbush location before arresting 37-year-old Victor Kingsley. Authorities say the arrest was the result of a 7-month investigation by George Ray, of Springfield Gardens, sustained severe burns when he opened the mysterious package on August 1, 2017. It was the shape of an oatmeal container that had been on his doorstep for several days. Ray died at Nassau University Medical Center days later. NYPD Chief of Detectives Robert Boyce said it is believed the intended target was a NYPD officer who Kingsley incorrectly believed lived in the house. Authorities said it was retaliatory in nature after the officer had previously arrested Kingsley. He allegedly built the explosive device as part of his broader effort to retaliate violently against several police officers who were part of a NYPD unit that had arrested him in January 2014. Sources tell Eyewitness News 2 explosive devices were found inside Kingsley's home, along with a pipe bomb and a number of precursors and materials to make bombs. Sources tell Eyewitness News Victor Kingsley was planning to send those 2 bombs to a prosecutor and a judge. Despite the case against him having eventually been dismissed, federal prosecutors said Kingsley methodically sought revenge against the officers. He conducted internet searches and made telephone calls to determine the locations of the officers' residences. He also accumulated explosive device components via online purchases made through Amazon, which he had delivered to his house in Brooklyn, the complaint said. Ultimately, he allegedly arranged for the explosive device to be placed outside of the Queen's residence. The building owner inadvertently detonated the device when he tried to open it. Kingsley is charged with using a weapon of mass destruction. If convicted, he could face a maximum sentence of life in prison. Newscopter 7 was over the scene as he was taken into custody. Court records show authorities believe Kingsley was working on another device. The case against him for the stun gun was dismissed. He was taken to the hospital for a psych exam. Neighbors say they never realized Kingsley lived in the home with his mother. They say she was friendly and sweet. They say he would never say hello. She would sweep on her own, she would shovel the garden, shovel the front of her house by herself, said Louis Joseph. So we always wondered why. We knew he had a son but he wouldn't necessarily help.